Now we've got to learn about time signatures. The idea here is that normally we have 4 counts per measure. That's our standard. However, we can have a different number of counts per measure. When you look at a time signature, it looks like a fraction. You've got 2 numbers. You've got a higher number, the numerator, and you've got a lower number, the denominator. In this case, the first one is 4-4. What the first number, the top number, means is how many counts, how many beats does every measure in this piece of music have. The bottom number is essentially what is the smallest unit we're going to subdivide as our standard. What that means is what does 1 beat in this piece of music get? If you see that there's a 4 on the bottom, you can think of it as that's 1/4. So what that means is 1/4, or a quarter note, will get 1 beat in this line of music. So with the understanding that we have 4/4 time in this first measure, we can look and we see that we've got a C, a D, an E, an F as our first 4 notes, and then a C, B, A, and G as our last 4 notes. This is exactly the strategy I want you to use when you're learning how to read music. Look ahead, look at the whole thing, or at least look at a couple of measures at a time ahead, and then find those notes on the guitar. Familiarize yourself with where's the C, where's the D, where's the next note, it's E, where's the F, it's here, where's the C is next, on the next measure 1, and then the B is next, and then we move over here to, what is that, an A, and then we move over to a G, and then there's a repeat. What I did was I mapped out all the notes. Where are those notes? Look at them. Try to figure out exactly where your fingers are going to have to go. Then, just get used to that much. Play the notes again. You don't have to worry about time or rhythm or anything right now. We're just finding those notes. A C, and then a D, and then a E and an F, and then a B, and then, no, that's a C, and then a B, and then a A and a G, and then I repeat it. After you get the notes mapped out, then worry about rhythm. Then worry about, let's see, it's quarter notes, so I need to play all 4 of the notes evenly spaced, dun, 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 and then I need to continue to play evenly spaced because the next 4, dun, 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 dun. Okay, I've got the idea. Now I'm going to play it real slowly, but with an evenly spaced beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, because it says repeat. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing is that notice that I've broken it down into 2 separate components here. I'm mapping out the notes. What are the notes? Figure out where they are. Get your handle on them there. Get a good handle on them. Then worry about where they are in time. Worry about playing them in time. So break it down into as many steps as you need to in order to get it right. Be honest with yourself and look. What are the notes? Do I know where they are? I got to find them. Here they are. And then the next ones are. Then worry about playing it in time. Now, the next line, the second line, is in 5/4. That means that you've got 5 beats for every measure or for every bar, and then you're still, with the 4 on the bottom, at 1 quarter note for every beat, for every count. Every beat, every single beat in this line of music gets a quarter note. So, we map it out. C, D, E, F, G, then up to C, B, then A, G, E, and then it repeats. Okay, so I'm ready. It's 5/4, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move on to the third line. What we have here is a 3/2 time signature. That gets counted as 1 and 2 and 3, and it's basically like 3/4, but 3/2 is written out so that 1 unit, the 2 on the bottom, is a half note. The half note is 1 count. So in this case I get 1, 2, 3. 1 and then I move over to the 2, and then 3, and then I go over to the next line and it's the C, 1, and then B, 2, and G, 3, and then it repeats. So I got it mapped out. I'm ready to give it a try. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. The next section, the second half of the third line, is in 3/4. Now what we've got is 3 beats per measure, but every quarter note gets 1 beat. Notice that you've got eighth notes in this example for the second measure, so you'll have to remember that after you map it out, 1, 2, 3, that's C, E, G, and then we come down the scale, C, B, A, G, F, E. But the second measure is eighth notes, so I'm going to have to play them twice as fast. I'm going to have to count eighth notes to start with so that by the time I get to the second measure, I'll have that firmly in mind where that beat's supposed to happen, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and. That brings us to our final measure here, our final line, which is in 6/8. 6/8. 6 beats per measure, and an eighth note, the 8 on the bottom, gets 1 beat. So I'm going to count 6. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and every eighth note gets 1 beat instead of a half a beat, instead of a 1 and. So here's the last line in 6/8. I'm going to have to count eighth notes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and, or at least in my mind, so I can keep straight what happens at the very end there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and. So, you don't have to count those out loud, but you have to keep them clearly in mind so that when you get to those last 16th notes, you don't wind up playing too slow or too fast relative to the eighth notes that get 1 beat.